if I look over my marriage, if I were to judge it in year 5 or year 10, there was never 50-50. Somebody was always giving way more. Someone always needed a different kind of thing. You have to evolve with it. And so, yeah, there were times when I felt like I was 70% in and he was doing 30%, because of the choices that I made in the terms of how I wanted our family to look.
Yeah.
I had to take my foot off of my career gas pedal, never putting on the brake, but slowing up a little bit. Those are the natural compromises that are required. And I feel bad when I see young people giving up on their relationships because there are periods of hard.
My friend Mary was on several dating sites for the longest time. She will call me maybe once a month, and one of the topics that we'll talk about was how she wants to be a wife and how she just wants to be loved by someone, have a family, and have loads of sex. And we would laugh every time we talked about this. Now, Mary met her husband Joe, and a year into the marriage, she called me and said, "Hold up, hold up, hold up. Why did you not tell me marriage was this hard?" Okay, I was confused and I was like, "Girl." And of course, I wanted to understand what she meant by hard. And she went on and on and on how her husband used to clean after himself when they were dating and he doesn't do it anymore, and how he cooks when they were dating and he doesn't do it anymore, and how her husband hardly goes down on her like he used to when they were dating, and how her husband doesn't look at her like he used to after she had their baby. And the list went on and on. My answer to my friend was simple: girl, marriage is a cult. Now, girl, take a seat. Let's talk about some of the unspoken truth in marriages that wives do not tell single ladies. Like, you have to get married. And then you start finding out by yourself. And maybe you will be like my friend Mary and say, "Hold up, hold up, hold up." Girl, one of the most unhappy people on the face of the earth are married women. And this is arguable. Of course it is. You can argue this all you want. Now, don't get me wrong, of course. They are happy wives who are married to great husbands, and they show you what they want you to see. Because, like I said, marriage is a cult. So many wives, they are the face of fake it till you make it slogan. I have spoken to more than a dozen women and befriended so many on Peanuts. Now, Peanut is a site where mothers are supposed to meet other mothers in their local areas and make friends or whatever. And one thing 90% of these women that I've spoken to have in common is eating sadness. Now, what do I mean by eating sadness? That is a sadness that is not visible until you start talking about deep family stuff, which includes the husband. And then you start hearing phrases like, "Oh, marriage is beautiful, but you have to be patient. Oh, men will always be men." And some will just avoid the topic altogether. Now, don't be fooled about social media love. Because some wives, especially black women, they will fake it to their grave. Like, "Girl, we are happy over here." Listen, this video is not to discourage you from the institution of marriage, like the church would say, but it is to prepare you that before you say "I do," make sure that you are a happy lady inside you and you don't depend on others, including your own man, for happiness. Now you might say, "Hadi, don't worry, I have friends. I have friends that I can talk to if my husband is too busy with work and business, blah, blah, blah." Girl, you will lose friends slowly when you get married. Did your mother not tell you this? Girl, study has shown that women get unhappy and lonely when they start having kids. I know there are sites like Peanuts who profit from lonely mothers and wives by lying to them that you will make friends. You will definitely make friends on the site. Girl, it's a lie. Very, very, very few wives actually make new friends on those sites because it is hard to make friends as an adult, and even harder when you move to a new city. Now, your single friends, they will slowly stay away because you are not fun anymore. And your vibe is just different. You understand what I'm saying? You don't talk what they talk anymore. And your married friends, they are too busy juggling friends, hobby, and sometimes their work and their business. And your phone will slowly stop ringing, except for the occasional calls from family. Now, girl, let's talk about sex. So, many women, many wives are in a sexless marriage. Now, before you go on and say, girl, go get a vibrator, not everyone enjoy touching themselves. Like I said, I've spoken to a few women. Not every woman loves it or even use a vibrator. They can't even imagine themselves doing it. So you see the trouble. Some wives, they are stuck with husband they don't enjoy having sex with. And and if you might are planning on getting married to a man without having sex, and you're not sure if things will be up to your expectations down there, sis, you are entering a black market agreement. Now let's go forward. Some wives are not just enjoying sex. You know why? Some of them. Because the husband Trojan, the thing is too small. And some of them, the thing is too big. So it's always painful. And some men, they are really blessed down there. And not all women can take it. So it's always painful. So my darling, you better check. Oh, don't say I did not tell you. Now, I guess you've heard this phrase. This is not the man I married. He has changed a lot. Now, if you haven't heard about it, babe, that is a thing. You know the auto calls, oh babe, where are you? Oh babe, what you eating? Oh babe, what you up to? The one you were used to when you guys were dating. When you get married, it will slow down. No one will tell you this though, but most men change with time after you get married. And I'm telling you, when they told me this, I did not even believe it. And it was actually a pastor's wife that told me this. Maybe because these men, they feel like you're already theirs. Only a man can answer that question. I cannot. Which is why the first year and sometimes up to the second year is the hardest in most marriages. You will see some sides to your husband you have never seen before. And you will be shocked. Is this man I dated for 5 years? This is not just me saying you. Like I said, this one, they advised me. I did not believe. Which is why OGs like Michelle Obama, they advise young couples, especially women and wives. My dear, be patient. Oh, they tell you, she has done it, so many videos. She'll be like, be patient. Marriage is not 50-50. Don't be deceived. You as a woman, my darling, your career will take backseat to your husband, especially when you start having kids. And if you are a woman that is ambitious, and you didn't know this before, you better know now, because some women who were ambitious and they got into marriage and their careers started going down and they could not take it. Some of them, they left the marriage. Now, does this happen to everyone? No. But if you get married to an alpha providing man, you will need to rest in your feminine energy, girl. And that means you letting him lead. And this sometimes might mean you slowing down on your career and taking care of the family. Now, before I got married, I used to hear this word. People used to say, oh, marriage is for the matured minds. And I thought, it had a lot to do with the age. And I used to think that when a woman gets older, then she will make a good wife. She will make a better wife. Now I realize that is not true. Independent women, they are used to doing things, especially the ones that are used to doing things the way they want it, when they want it for the longest time. They struggle more in marriages, especially when it comes to submitting to a man. And you can, like I said, you can argue about this. Because we all, or most independent women, can say, oh, don't worry, when I meet the man, I will submit. No, it's a simple thing to say, I will submit. But then when you are actually with this alpha providing man, and you are used to doing things by yourself, it takes time to really adjust to that submitting, because it has many layers. That is why I am actually making this video, so you can get your mindset right. You understand? Because I am tired of seeing ladies in their 30s crying out, oh, I want to get married, I want to meet the one. They're going on dating site, going on all these dates, and their mindset is all F up. Like, you are not ready. It is not about the age. Are you ready? Getting married just because you are lonely and you lack the tools of communication, you are not patient, you are not submissive, you don't know how to forgive, because these are the things that goes on in marriages. You have to learn how to communicate. You have to be patient. You have to be submissive. I'm not talking about you being a fool, because you have to understand what it means to submit to an alpha man, to a man that provides, to your husband. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to forgive. I'm not talking about forgiving bullshit, but there are some things, not you being in the house with somebody and always keeping malice with the person. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you don't have these setting tools, you are setting yourself up for failure. Many men, they become less affectionate towards their wives when the kids start coming. I'm not talking about sex here. I'm talking about the ass slapping. I'm talking about him just wrapping his arms around you in the kitchen, the stolen kiss here and there. And this is when many wives start becoming self-conscious and they start saying, I don't think my husband likes me anymore. And some of them who used to be skinny and they've gained some weight because now they have babies. Some of these wives, they start losing confidence because they feel like their husband don't find them attractive anymore. Like I said, don't be fooled by social media. Marriage is a cult. So most of the time, nobody will tell you these things I'm telling you. Nobody will tell you Jack. You will be hearing words like, oh, be patient. Like there's anything anyone can do with that kind of advice. You understand what I'm saying? When I gave birth, in the delivering ward, that is a place where you kind of get a peek into people's marriages. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in my own section, just chilling, doing my thing, lying down, resting after having a baby. And I'm trying to mind my business. So, however, I'm still paying attention to what's going on around me. And you see men, or you hear men coming to see their wives. 90% of them are just focused on the babies. Most men don't even know how to support their wives emotionally. I'm talking about women who just gave birth via cesarean. They just did a serious operation and she's there on the bed. She's crying because the pain is horrible. And some of these men don't even know how to support these women. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that he doesn't love her. Like I said, marriage. And some just sit there and the wife is crying and they just sit. Sometimes they call the nurse, and some of them, they come in, not with I'm just saying, coming in for the first time, like, okay, your wife just gave birth. She just came out from the theater, or they just rolled her in from the labor room or wherever. No flowers. No kiss of appreciating this woman to say, baby, you have done good. Nothing. They just go straight for the baby. Now, the real question is, do you have what it takes to be a wife? But when it comes to marriage, you have to be ready mentally. It is not always black and white. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, because it will make this channel grow. Okay, girl, share this video with somebody you think needs to see it. And I love you. Adios.